Hey guys, it's Baby Powder, and yes, I am back with another farm video. Kind of explained in the last mailbox cleanout, if you guys did catch it. The reason why I haven't put out another farm video is in the background I have been working on coming with another farm video, but I was trying to find a open world farm for the large fangs, since that's another one of those materials that are kind of required for these new crafted transmogs or crafted items. And yeah, it was a crash and burn. Basically, I knew it was going to be a struggle to find something, but I wanted to try to take on that challenge. But it seemed either the mobs didn't drop the large things anymore, or the farms just didn't work. Which actually, they probably, even the ones that didn't work, probably didn't drop the large things either. So yeah, that's what really, was the struggle there. But I did switch it back so I could bring you guys another video, and did another farm on the Essence of Undeath. And actually, this farm was told to me by Marvin a while back. He told me about this farm, and I just hadn't gotten around to trying it out yet, because I was trying out, we did like the Death Step. So it was actually before then, Death Step, and we did the one out there in Feralis, and even, Breath Wind and all kinds, Breath of Wind. But anyway, guys, it really is a really good farm for somebody who's looking for a smaller farm. Because I mean, it's such a small area, I was actually able to do 2 4-man groups with my 8 potatoes. So that's really nice, because with it being a smaller farm, if you have a shorter flight path, you possibly get more Essence of Undeath, since the mobs are in a tighter area, and it also means if you do have a smaller group, you can possibly pull it off, because I mean, I think you can even pull this farm off with only a 3-man group. Might be able to pull it off with 2 somehow. That might be pushing it. It might be a little bit too big for that, but at least 3 I think is possible. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get to the farm so you guys can see it and see what you think. Alright, guys, so here we are at the farm. It's here in Dustwood, and if you take a look here on the map, this is where we're located. As you can see, I have my potatoes kind of set up in like a diamond formation here. And it's right here at this farm area down here in the corner. And if we take a fly around, you can see this is where I have my first potato. We are actually located. Oh, where are the coordinates? Actually, let me actually switch to 5 so you guys can. Well, maybe I don't have the coordinates on this one either. Usually I do. Sorry about that, guys. Well, anyway, if you just take a look here, let's see if we can get ourselves up in the air here. I must not have them set up on this group for whatever reason. But anyway, we're located right here, right down or up from this cabin here, right here on the little corner of the fence. And basically what I did was I kind of mapped it out. You see, it's just like a field here, and I just kind of like aimed for having each potato at like each corner, as we're doing 2 4-man groups. So basically, like I went to this corner. I actually had this one out here at first, but then it was too close to this mob right here. Plus, we were missing this one in the back here, if you can see them. So I moved them over here, right here at the end of this little fence where it's kind of broken here, and just put them right there. And then that way they're hitting that mob right there. They're also hitting these couple mobs. They're also hitting that one over there. So a bunch of mobs. And these are the ones you're aiming for. You're not even aiming for these hostile mobs here, just the neutral ones. Those are the ones that respawn. Now, sometimes the hostile ones will attack you, and I do have a target, slash target enemy macro as well, and I'll just use that so that I can fly the potato around when I switch to them. But these guys don't actually hyperspawn. They do seem to have, pretty decent spawn rate, so they will spawn from time to time after you've killed some of them, but they do not actually hyperspawn. So you're just aiming for these mobs, which is nice because that way you only have to use one keybind. I really hate doing farms where I have to do multiple keybinds. But anyway, yeah, so this is the spot for the first potato, and for me it's actually potato 1 and potato 5 since they're, you know, 2 4-man groups. And then if you come over here to this corner, like I said, just look for, you know, all 4 corners. It's, you know, basically a square, and just, you know, set them up kind of with that. And then this one I have right here, right across from the tree here on the corner. And, you know, just a little ways out, you know, just basically make sure you're not standing on top of any mobs. You want to be able to, you know, reach all these mobs around here and hit these ones in the back. So long as you can hit both of these, you know, and still hit your mobs out here, you're good. And then for your next one, you just come right beside them down here, and you just want to kind of, again, just pull them out a little bit, make sure that they're actually able to hit this mob, the mob back there, and I think they actually hit that mob as well there. Actually, there is one mob we missed somewhere. Actually, it's over there, I think. But yeah, you hit both of these mobs, and then also, you know, help out the mobs out here. And then for your last potato, you want to come on down to this corner where the big barn is, and you want to actually have them kind of closer to the edge of the fence, basically because you want to make sure you're hitting this mob. And that's kind of, I guess, where you can kind of direct it and make sure you're in the right spot. Is one, just make sure you avoid standing on top of mobs like this one. And really this one, I think, are the only ones that had issues where I was kind of standing on the mobs at some times when we were doing the farm, and I actually had to, you know, adjust, which I actually made it better, because then I was able to hit this one, which I wasn't at first, and then like with this one I was able to start hitting this mob, which, you know, helped with faster respawns. There is a mob back here, and this is what I was talking about. There's one like back here that we're missing, but it's just one mob. You still get really fast respawns even with missing that one. But other than that, you can pretty much hit all of them. And again, you don't actually have to hit the, you know, hostile mobs, just the neutral ones that you're aiming for. So anyway, guys, I will go ahead and roll a clip of me doing this farm for one loot phase, and then after that we will actually take a look. I got a Google sheet made up, and we'll take a look at what we actually got with doing this for 1 hour. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the little sheet that I did, and I actually went ahead and, so we could compare, put the Dark Mist Ruins, which was the last Essence of Undeath farm we did, which is, you know, still going to be my favorite between the two, just because you have the option to get the pet at the Dark Mist Ruins, which is a really nice pet. It's a Sprite Daughter Hatchling pet. Granted, we only got one when we recorded the video, but I ended up actually getting like 5 when we did it on stream, and then I've gotten like, you know, 2 multiple times when I've done the farm. Though, if you look here, you see we actually only ended up with a total of 210 Essence of Undeath from doing that farm. And it's a lot bigger farm. You really need a whole 8-man group. And I've actually maybe increased the amount of Essence of Undeath, because if you remember seeing that video, I did suggest a spot that if you had an extra person come out with you to stand in, that actually seems to be the better spot. So I've actually, when I do that farm now, I've switched my potato to standing in that spot, because when people did join on stream and join me in the farm, found that they were actually able to hit an extra mob that the 5th potato in the first group was not hitting. So it actually adds for an extra mob to actually be able to loot at that spot. So anyway, right here is what we actually got with Addle Stead, which you see we've got 302. And then again, I mean, this is, you know, small enough for a 2x4 farm, which means all 8 potatoes are flying around looting, which means, you know, possibly more loot, because you see here, I mean, they're all kind of lining up the same amounts of Essence of Undeath as the Darkness Ruins, but then you come down here and you see, you know, the last 3, which, you know, when I do a 5 and 3 man group, they don't fly around, and so they're not getting as much loot, plus, you know, they don't have as many mobs to loot anyway because they are in the smaller group. But yeah, so we got 302 Essence of Undeath total, which is, you know, a really good amount, because I also went back and looked at the videos to see, you know, what was the total amount of Essence of Undeath I got from the other farms. Now, Death Step would possibly be in a good running because it is another small farm, possibly just slightly bigger than this one, but not really. And we only got 220 there. But then again, it wasn't really a fair comparison, because we did have loot problems there. It was like freezing up and everything with Death Step. And though, even if it was that we got less at Death Step might have a slight edge to it, because I know we didn't get the biggest amount of you know, transmog loot there when we did the video, but we also had, like I said, loot issues. When I ended up doing it on stream, we ended up getting like 8 or 10 epic drops from there, so it actually had a pretty good amount of transmog drops at that farm. And then the tunnel, which was actually pretty good and could have possibly been better if I wasn't too lazy to run throughout the cave or the tunnel, but still, they had possibly a better drop rate, because yeah, it was only 269, but I didn't move a single potato that whole time. So that, in comparison, I'm thinking that actually might be more, because I think they might have a better drop rate of those essences. So if you're not feeling lazy or, you know, and you feel like running through a tunnel, you might still be better off with the tunnel farm that we did out there in the Eastern Plaguelands. Now, with that being said, though, as far as transmog goes, you see we didn't get much, only 23,824 gold worth, which, you know, I only keep something if it's at least 5,000 in region value or above. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm still getting rid of, which, you know, it doesn't even compare there with Darkness Ruins, which it really doesn't, because, you know, one night on stream I actually ended up getting the Saltstone Lakes from the Darkness Ruins. I was actually kind of shocked to see those drop. And then also at the same time we get a pet from the Darkness Ruins. Now again, at the tunnel, Death Step, we don't get any pets or anything, but like I said, Death Step, we did get a lot of epics from there. And the tunnel, it seems like the mobs might actually have a higher drop rate on the essences. It's just you have to go through a tunnel. So just a couple different options there for you guys. It does have a, you know, it's up and downs. I mean, it's a really small area. You do get a lot of Essence of Undeath compared to the other farms, whereas the tunnel maybe can get more, but then again, you have to run through a tunnel. This one you do not. There is the other farm too out there on the Dark Shore, which allows you to get the loincloths, which makes that one really nice too. And you know, I did that one so long ago, I'm not sure exactly what the total will be. I'll have to do it again with doing it now with WoW Open Box 2, because it'll be different than when we were able to broadcast. But still, that one has a downside too now, because there's 2 different keybinds you have to use, because there's 2 different types of mobs. So that makes it a little less appealing as well, because it's a lot, you know, more aggravating to do 2 keybinds compared to the way it was before, where, you know, because you have to, hit the one keybind like through all 8 accounts, and then switch over and hit the other one through all 8 accounts. So it can just be aggravating switching back and forth. But anyway, guys, gives you another option. Check it out. See, how many you get. Maybe you can even get more than a 302. I mean, materials are still, RNG, a little bit, so you can still, maybe get more or less, as you see some potatoes get more than the others do. And yeah, hopefully you guys like that, and it's just another option for you guys to try out, especially if you have a smaller group. Alright guys, well, I hope you liked the video on the Essence of Undeath farm at Addle's Stead. I was about to say step. Stead, step, those sound kind of the same. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys like the farm, and thanks again, Marvin, for telling me about that farm. Sorry it took me so long to get to it. I just had, other ones I was checking out first. Really not bad at all, especially if you're looking for one in a very small area to do. And you definitely, you could definitely do it with 2 people if you actually had 2 live people. Though I wouldn't really suggest it with 2, multi-boxing with 2 people. You could, with 2 potatoes anyway, but possibly 3. I think 3 would definitely be one where you could possibly do it. If you, on those bottom corners, if you had 2 potatoes there, if you were only running a 3-man group, because they kind of have to be further out, and then you kind of did like a triangle thing where you had like the 3rd potato on the other end, I think you'd be safe to pull it off that way. But anyway, guys, I didn't try it out, so I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I will and get back to you guys and let you know if it can work out with 3 or not for sure. But it would be something you guys could try out if you only have a 3-man group. But anyway, guys, I will be back with a video soon on something else. I haven't really came up with anything yet, because I was really focused on trying to find one for the large fangs, and it kind of put me in put me on hold there for a little while. So yeah, I will get back to it and get some more farms out to you guys, and possibly even go over some other farms that we've already covered before, just because now it's going to be a little bit different with the WoW open box and the way it works, and just to give you guys that kind of update. And we'll probably get back to some 10-hour farms and things too. And as far as stream, if any of you guys are wondering, I am getting back to stream, just waiting for parts to come in. As you know, if you've been on stream, we've had PC issues where my PC crashes. I can't keep up when I'm streaming anymore. I have no problem doing these farms and stuff now off stream, but it's just when I'm streaming and also trying to do them, it crashes. I guess it's just this CPU just cannot handle it anymore. Plus, you gotta think now that we're doing WoW open box, each window is now active, whereas there was only one active window at a time, so that might be putting more on it as well. So yeah, so I have ordered parts for a new PC. One part got delayed, which was actually the CPU for the new PC. So hopefully soon, I will be back up and running, and we can start doing some of these farms. But anyway, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope to see you guys in the next video, and hope to see you guys again on stream soon. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. And yeah, guys, see you guys next time.